Hello, YouTube. This is our LCS Finals VoD review. 4 games. Congrats to TLC. 3-1. I've been talking for 30 minutes already on stream about TL's win. I'm sure that we'll talk a little bit more as I get questions in the chat. Of course, I do stream these, but I post these to YouTube. And I will say, I'm proud of myself. A bit of a humble flex. I will have every game up from LCS on YouTube for the entire spring split. I'm planning on doing the same for summer. I'll do the same for MSI. In the break, I'm going to be doing reviews for the MSI teams. I might do some LCK and LPL. But I got to say, this is still 14-5. I can't touch 14-6 until tomorrow. I got my Challenge League finals, so I got to cover. Then we can get into 14-6, even though I have enjoyed watching the playoffs going on around the world now. This is a really fun time in League of Legends. My favorite time of year in League of Legends is summer to find out who goes to Worlds. This is a fun time in spring to find out who goes to MSI. But with that said, let's dive into these games. We got game 1, and TL absolutely fucking clap YC in this one. But let's go over the draft a little bit. I do want to reference, I usually don't reference tweets, but I do want to reference what LS was saying, because I do feel like it was actually kind of relevant to this game. Just that FlyQuest like kind of lost their identity of what they want to do into this draft. Because when you see Taliyah, Smolder, I really like this core, because we talked about this a lot on stream. Taliyah can get to bot to support Smolder, whether that's protecting from dives or maybe being proactive, but also Unraveled Earth is really OP and just holding the line for Smolder. So this comp, I really like the Kai'Sa. I think that the Vi is a bit interesting for me, because like for me, you could have went Hui here. And if you go Hui, then you already actually have a really strong like poke identity between Kai'Sa if you do go for the poke Kai'Sa build. Now, Masu has mostly played the on-hit build. I think FlyQuest beat a Smolder at some point. They faced a Smolder at some point in the playoff run. I don't exactly remember, but regardless, if you go for something like Hui here, you can actually form a pretty nice poke identity where you already really outrange TL. And I like that TL took this away and also took away the Gragas, which is a good call. Because Bwipo just gives them a lot of ability to control terrain in the fights. And Gragas can really now close the gap for this Kai'Sa Vi that you have. The Vi, of course, is a bit of a deny from Taliyah. And that's maybe one where it's like, all right, we didn't take that away in bans. I think that this is more of a deny pick, trying to deny a Vi Taliyah core with a Smolder, which I do like a lot on TL. But I think regardless, they would have had to take the Tahm Kench and would have had to drop the Vi. So I think that's one thing that I would have changed this FlyQuest, is maybe taking the Hui to respond to Taliyah. Umti's not going to play Taliyah. Like APA, unless he's going to bust out like Triss Jace or in finals, those really is only 2 AD champs. I don't think that's going to happen. So I think that's one change I made for Fly. Moving forward, we have Renekton and Jax each taken away. Jax being a jungle ban, Renekton being a blind. Fly does have high Renekton priority. It's a bear for Umti, which I think complements this decently well. You can dive and support bot. Frankly, I actually thought that I think that Bwipo's pool got really narrowed, and I'm a little bit surprised that Bwipo just didn't grab K'Sante. Because at least K'Sante gives you more ability to dive, because at this point, you're kind of committing to dive. But maybe he thought that, yeah, I don't know. The Urgot blind was a little bit weird to me. It's a left fielder, right? I will say that the one thing that I do know behind the scenes is this is 14-5. We aren't really seeing Rek'Sai in here because there were a lot of bugs on Rek'Sai in this patch. Urgot deals okay with Rek'Sai from what I've seen from Lee's solo queue win rates, but it doesn't make a lot of sense to me. I think Urgot just ends up outscaling the matchup. If you give Urgot free farm, it gets good later. This ended up being a little bit weird and disjointed for me. There's not really a good shield carrier for FlyQuest. So if we're going to go Karma, why not take Xin here? And again, if we go Hui here, I think a lot of our issues kind of get solved. So, yeah. Anyway, TL ended up going K'Sante, which is a big pick for Impact. I think Impact does a really good job appealing at K'Sante. Overall, I feel like TL is a little bit more of a cohesive identity with this. Whereas FlyQuest is we want to dive, and we don't really have damage to support it. At least not damage till later. We have Malignant Spike. I don't know. This was weird. If this was like Kindred, even. I know that like I'm getting out there with Kindred, but I was seeing a lot of Kindred answers to Smolder and Challengers, just given it's fearless and you get pushed down a little bit in terms of priority. It's actually not bad. Would have paired well with Karma too. I don't know. It's got a little bit weird for me. I feel like FlyQuest like really put themselves in a hole by taking the Vi here. They take Hwei, they're a lot more flexible and a little bit more committing the poke. I think they were really tunneled on denying the Vi Talia combo, which I really like with Smolder. It gives you mid-game, like early to mid-game options, then bridge the Smolder to the later parts of the game. But I think that by really tunneling on denying that, when I don't think it's an option for TL, things got rough. So yeah, and then we're gonna focus a little bit more on the early stages of this game.
Holy shit, he's hot!
Early. Sunny David RS, welcome to the Bear Den. Mateus, hi Cubby. Hello. Keep up the good work, man. Hey, I appreciate that. Thanks for the prime. We do our best. I like doing my homework and broadcasting to you. Where was I in this game? See, we see some FlyQuest fan. Hey, all right. I was up here for this game. Shout out to Red Bull, by the way, who got me a ticket. It ended up being an extra ticket, so I gave it to my friend. I sat next to someone that had not played League before, but that was kind of fun. But yeah, shout out to Red Bull and Janine over there. So that was very, very nice of them. They had some extra tickets, so. Coconut Red Bull. I actually do like the Coconut Red Bull. So, I guess an Urgot one trick, thanks to Matscoot 2, went over Blippo's lane phase and kind of judged it and said it wasn't that great and that he should have played for bush defense, which I guess Impact's kind of playing for with that ward. Now, this is comp, right? So they want to play for that ward with Karma. So, like, Blippo is sacking that to make sure that he gets this ward. Oh, it wasn't a great trade for Busio. I can't talk about that lane, actually. I've seen this lane a lot. I don't know exactly how to play the level 1. The one thing I will say is one of the coolest things for me when I did sit in and help TL with their Combine from 22 to 23 is Core JJ just talking about how to play lanes level 1. And we were literally running back games to make sure that players could play the level 1 correctly. And that was very fun. So, like, he was having him run Lucian Nami versus Zeri Lulu just to see how fast they could pick up, like, how to play the lanes out properly, which was honestly really fun to witness. I came kind of coached through that. I learned a lot. All right, so it's a full clear to top. Blippo's... Oh, that's really nice from Impact. I actually missed this. That's really fucking good from Impact. Oh, wow. Okay, so we just can't take that E if that's the case. So this thing's a lot harder now. All of a sudden, Blippo kind of has to get out of here on this thing. He's got to get this in and get out. And, oh, Umti was just... So Umti gave up his crab to protect a potential dive on the Impact. But he gets to rotate out his Raptors, and Yawn and Core walk up. This is great team play from TL. It's really good team play from TL. So Umti is like now hovering top, and the bot lane comes up. They lose nothing for this. They're at least going to delay Crab, and they're scouting Inspired, and Inspired sacks it and goes back to his camps. That's really nice. Blippo TP'd back. And he has no pots. I think he should have committed to the walk. Where's this wave hit? He should have committed to the walk. I think if Blippo commits to the walk, this gets much better. I'm wondering if the one trick caught that as well. I'm sure that's the case. You know Matt Scoot? Because now he's at a pretty big item disadvantage. He's got no pots. He's up against a Bramble. Because that wave, it was close, but he would have gotten the cannon, I think, if he walks. And now, like, he's at item disadvantage. And, like, I think the goal for this wave, or this lane, is to probably get... Like, if he can trade out his health bar a little bit and be up a TP on impact, like, have the TP to sack, then he can at least get, like, phage components and TP back and then have item advantage and be able to maybe push around impact a little bit. He was afraid of it crashing for sure, and it was close, but he was trying to walk. I feel like he could have TP'd a little bit later. He just read that a little bit wrong, and then this is where things start to get a little bit sour. So Inspired's on Grubs. Busio is walking back, and Core stops a base. And really pushes... So Core really delays Busio's base. I think that Busio, if he walks back further there and he's able to get a clean base, things get a little bit better for this next series for TL. So what happens is Inspired snipes the mini grub. And now he's just going to walk through mid. But Umti, given his clear, is already on bot. So he's on the Drake. And FlyQuest are like, oh fuck, we're against the Smolder, right? The Smolder's yet to reset. So they're thinking about maybe taking a fight, but TK, Voli, Talia are so strong early. And Busio just kind of blows Aftershock and dies. I think FlyQuest like really panicked. They're like, guys, if we sack this Drake, like we're kind of screwed. I think the right answer here for FlyQuest would be... If they get... Oh... They could really heavily deny Yawn. I think the answer here for FlyQuest is to just never let Yawn reset from here. And Vi is not great in this situation either. Yeah, Busio just... Like, this is just uncontestable, given the champs that are in the game. So it's just the wrong decision from FlyQuest. Like, for me, what should happen here... Well, I think this is... kind of greedy from TL. I respect it, though. I think that the map state they have is good. I think this is a great call from Umti. I think that where the map was for FlyQuest, they should have committed to the trade, and they should have played. So, like, what should happen here for me is that this gets axed, but we play to shove this all the way in. I mean, by hovering here, though, Yawn kind of gets yoinked. Because, like, for me, the biggest thing right now is how can we make sure that Yawn doesn't base? How can we take advantage of this, right? I think FlyQuest just kind of shit their pants. They're like, oh, fuck, we're against Smolder. We can't give them 5 minutes, you know? What's up, Zach? Yeah, I also think that, like, this is just uncontestable. So, like, for me, the right solution would be to trade, and then you just go bot dive. So Inspire can work his way down. And, like, in this scenario, like, look at how Masu's off the wave. So now Yawn actually gets a reasonable reset. Like, even if Jensen were to come down and poke a little bit, if they delay the reset at all, like, I think that the play there is to not commit to it, but to delay Smolder reset as much as possible, then get the dive. Because Masu doesn't get this wave in now, and Smolder gets to pick this up for free, and for me, that's the illegal part. Like, that is the one time where the TL can actually get that dragon. And if you give it, yeah, like, there's no pressure now on this big wave, and Yawn got the reset. I don't know if you can play for a top kill. Like, I don't think you can at this breakpoint for Blippo. But this game's already, like, super fucked from that play. And it's not the Busio death. It's just the decision to, like, actually contest. I mean, I think FlyQuest were just mind controlled by Smolder, like, legitimately. If they play for Grubs and they just clear down, you can absolutely execute Yawn here. Well done. So now Umti gets 2 grubs off this. So, like, TL win both early objectives. This is good from Busio. Oh, man. Sorry. I'm going to pick up. What's Jensen resetting for here? Why did Jensen reset? What? Jesus Christ, this game just got fucked from this dragon play. Like, legitimately. Inspired, like, threw his game for this. I think the big thing for me is that this all happens because Core stopped Busio's recall. So in a sense, like, Busio died because he wasn't able to get his recall back, so he wasn't able to deploy with Masu. Even if he's deploying, like, a little bit behind Masu, like, right here, that would be the normal timer that, like, Busio would be at if he was able to somewhat recall with Masu, right? So now he's actually like, able to be out on the map to match this. And that's where the timer comes in, where they're actually able to take the dragon. Because that misses, like, holy shit. I mean, this is really good from TL. Like, Core creates this window, and Umti does as well, and they cash it in, right? I love this from TL. But this game gets so fucked for Inspired. I think Inspired has to play for himself here. And honestly, like, I think that was a big shift in the series, because Inspired started playing, like, just playing Lee, right? Like, Inspired's game is ruined off this. If they give this, Inspired gets grubs. He can deny Volibear Raptor Camp, and then he can work his way down and fuck the bot lane. Ahri was banned regardless champ. You can do this. Like what I'm talking about. And then Inspired takes a clear where he skips over his Batu camp, so now he can't contest this. He wastes a lot of time getting back to this side of the map, and then they drop everything. Wow. I mean, I think Umti and Core actually just gapped Busio Inspired, like, really hard. I will say Jensen taking that reset was a little bit weird for me. Whoops. But it did end up paying off okay. Because APA gets this in, and then he just goes to walk bot. And this is not a good timer. Like, not a great timer from APA. But they do funnel Smolder a wave mid. They have Karma play it. It's whatever. It's like Smolder can take this and then just walk bot. I mean, yeah, like APA is not nearly as good of an Azir player as the other mids in the LCS. Look at the tape. It's the first time that first year he's even played Azir in his pro career. Or not even pro, like semi-pro too. No, it's not. His Talia was always very good. And like a lot of the champs that he debuted on, like he picked up Jace in his first split. Like Jace isn't the archetype of champion that I feel like APA was really good at. It is like mages and roamers. I remember him losing Orianna games in gold back in 2020, by the way. That's how far this guy's come. I swear that dragon and the fact that FlyQuest contested that dragon fucked their entire game. I swear to God that fucked the entire game. Like, I know this game gets really ugly, but this game would have been in such a better spot if they commit to the contest. Because TL hard played for that. They would have had a guaranteed timer to dive Yawn. Like, if Inspired plays hard, he would have had 6 advantage, and there is a timer with 6 advantage. And they completely threw it. Any chance at having that? Good play by Umti. There's nothing to say here. Busio doesn't have 6. He went down. Again, they played for that. Busio, like, he's already been removed from the map once.
Could be great, but like you said, Cubby.
Bustle and Fungus, thanks for the follow. Busio gets dove here because he chooses to get dove. Maybe he's trying to bluff that they had Inspired there. That's like really the only solution. But him and Masu are for sure split. Yeah, I mean, he shows Kinto. At least they dive him and not his AD carry, you know? Masu gets the fucking scraps. I think Annie was good in games 2 and 4. I think game 3, blinding Annie in the APA is terrible. I'm completely down for Annie Lee Sin. I think that you can play Annie Lee Sin. I think it's good. I'm okay with it. All right, this is good from FlyQuest. They get Malignant's Karma Timer because APA. This is like off of APA hovering bot, like doing that kind of weird trade. I don't love that from APA. I feel like he's trying to dodge out a Karma Timer like mid where he kind of loses, but it didn't work. End up paying off. No, this does end up getting rather ugly. So Impact has TP. Blippo chooses to not match. I think this is correct from Blippo. I think this play is just lost. And I think the real issue here was... I mean, APA TPing back is really good. Jensen shift could have been a little bit better here. I think more so the issue is that Inspire doesn't want to tank. Like, they're trying to pull Dragon down, and TL actually really fuck with it. This. I think Inspire needs to be closer to the Dragon, and, like, he doesn't want to tank it. I think they have to kind of continue DPSing it, but he wants to pull it down. So, like, honestly, the initial mistake here was, I think Inspired pulling this Dragon up. I think Inspired has to pull this Dragon down. I know that he was in Banana Brush to get the vision. They don't have any Banana Brush vision. And TL fucking with this Dragon actually is, I think, what makes this play. Yeah, like, Jensen's like, they don't have a Dragon setup. They're just rushing it down. Like, TL just had a better objective control. I think people are tunneling on the Annie pick a lot. I think it was really shit in game 3. It was actually good in games 2 and 4. Because Annie's just like a meme champ, you know? Really nice delay from TL. They get a flash too. I really like shit like this. TL does this very well. Sometimes they grief by overextending, but there are a lot of times where like they're able to push up and find extra timers like this, and like they deny Masu a flash and a lot more. And like this at this point, this game's fucked. It's a 1.5K goal lead. Your Smolder's 2-0-2. You have a Dragon as a Smolder team. Like, this game's fucked. I think Annie Viego is really bad. I think Annie Lee is way better. You have a lot more early timers that are easier to hit. I think that's how I'd rather play Annie. I really didn't like the Annie Viego. I think it was really bad in that game. Like, you're... Ugh. Yeah, I was a little bit surprised about the lack of Zin as well. I think it's okay. And we can talk about the lack of engagement like the rest of the comp, but again, I think it's fine. I mean, they won a game with it, right? All right, now the game is really over. So you know that Vi Talia combo that I was talking about being good? Well, they managed to do it here because they get Jensen's flash off the wall. And this trap is laid by Umti. Really, really, really good by Umti here. They spot Inspired on a ward. They're trying to set up a bot play, and Umti and APA just completely blow it up. Bot rotates up. They force Jensen flash. That's really fucking good from TL. This is really good gameplay from TL. The control ward for TL was just not. Yeah, like this vision from TL, they're doing such a good job of protecting their bot lane here. They don't clear out that ward. Still, we have bad versus Zigzag Soul? Yes. I mean, it's a trade. Like in the 1v1, you will win as the Zigzag Soul. Later on. Talia has early pressure, and you can actually play with your jungler. Game ends here for me. So they tried to go on APA. APA had flash. Their mid did not. Kind of trying to save the play. If this game wasn't already over. What's up, Cubby in chat? What is up, Nick Shin? Discord was so hyped for this play mid. I mean, it was set up by APA and Umti the turn before, where they got the flash off the ward coverage. And then they just punish again. It's so fucking free. I mean, this was a tilter. By the way, while this is going on, I don't know why they're even deploying into this side. I think that they could go, like, actually go do the dragon. Right, they spot core here. They're just like, yes, APA is no flash. We can get him. Nope. Any calls you'd like to see on Hotline League tomorrow? Give me the off-season spice. This was well managed by Blippo. But again, like, FlyQuest dropped a Drake from trying to match that play. Yeah, I think odds of having Licorice having a team are pretty high. I mean, at this point, you have to fight, but again, like, this is a Herald defense where we all in bot side instead. I mean, we're reaching at this point as FlyQuest. But TL are able to actually fully respawn. And the fact it's 1-for-1 is not bad. Because Jensen actually got stuff. But they got Masu Flash again. Really, really good from APA. I think that fight was actually fine. They got objective bounty top, and they traded kills. It wasn't a shutdown or like the biggest shutdown, but was fine. This was a little bit grief. Yeah, we just got a TP out. I would hope C9 would have a coaching staff next split. That would be, if they didn't have a coaching staff, that'd be like last year spring TSM Academy or Challengers level, you know? And we don't want that. We would like our players to have coaches. I mean, if you're, I think that, hold on. I will stick with what I said. This actually wasn't. This angle from Impact is really good. Watch Impact, guys. This is good shit from TL. This is so good from TL. It's just a hella good angle. Like, Impact being here is so good. No one can follow the Vi. We're trying to dive through Talia. It's really hard. Blippo. Can't get anything done. And yeah, it's just a route. That's a really great angle, though, from Impact. Respect. He waited for the wave and then went through vision. That's really fucking good. I don't want to say TL Masterclass. I think that there was a reason Smolder was banned for the rest of the game. They just decided they didn't want to deal with the pressure. I really feel like FlyQuest just didn't have any faith in themselves to drop that Dragon against a Smolder team and still win the game. And they lost themselves the game in doing that. That really fucked like all their timers. Yes, Fly's comp had issue. Yeah. But it's already over at this point. I just think the FlyQuest had no faith in keeping they just really freaked out like when they weren't going to get the first Dragon. And credit to Core on stopping Busio's base. That really killed the tempo of FlyQuest. It opened up that window, and FlyQuest did not respond well. And there's a reason I was taking TL over every team but FlyQuest today. I thought FlyQuest would out teamfight them, but TL were much better. I mean, it's just also bot bans are just the meta right now. And I somewhat agree with that, you know? So. I had FlyQuest in this. All right, well, let's, since we're a talkative chat today, let me take some questions real quick. Or scroll up. See what I missed. Offseason. I'll talk about offseason like real briefly. I think the roles that are most likely to have some change or swap is unironically top lane, just because I assume the Krish is going to have a team. And I really hope Surdy gets a team where he's not put on weak side duty. I'll say that too. Also, I think C9 was a broken team. I don't know who you blame. And I think you have to make changes. Because it was just a broken team. You can blame coach for that, but I would change some pieces. I think Surdy on SR would be bad. That team wants to play for B-Boy. If you have Surdy there, then B-Boy has to change his role. I think that C9's issue right now is that there's one ball in League of Legends, and C9 have a lot of people that want the ball and want control, and Surdy would not be... Surdy is best for me when he is able to dictate resources towards him. And I don't think that C9 needs another voice and needs to do that. I think C9, unironically, like... Yeah, I think Impact's a really good pairing for JoJo, unironically. But in theory, for me, Fudge should actually fit that team, but Fudge was bad. I mean, I looked at the tape for Fudge, and I cannot explain the Olaf picks and how the Olaf was played without just thinking that this guy either like gets thrown in a locker by his team if he doesn't TP to a fight, or he has no faith in himself to carry, or the team has no faith in him to carry. I cannot fathom like what those games looked like. And I kind of feel bad for Fudge in that sense. I feel like that team just needs changes. And he's probably the change, but yeah. I mean, yeah, it's almost like Impact's the fucking GOAT. I don't think Fudge was good, but I also do think he was a bit of a victim of the team, for sure. Okay. I'm going to keep going. I got to keep going through these. Okay. Oh. All right. Game 2, because I'll put the chapter here for YouTube, and you can see this first. Here we go. It's the FlyQuest win, where they bring this one back from the brink of disaster. We are playing the early game comp. I will say, I think Croc is very OP right now. On this patch, I thought Croc was incredibly busted. The Black Cleaver Sterax, this champ is not okay.
Could be great, but like you said,
and into a comp like this, you actually scale really well. If you're able to play into 3 melees and relatively short range, where Talia is really the only thing that can really fuck with you, right? I think FlyQuest played this game out very well. It is a lower damage team comp. They have ways to stall out fights, be mobile, And that actually really benefits Kalista as well. So for me, I actually felt like TL with this comp, they had to do a little bit better in terms of like the first couple rounds of cooldowns they used, and like trying to get picks with this core. Whereas I think that this game, like, I actually really like FlyQuest draft. And I think that Annie into this draft is really nice. I don't necessarily think Annie can get one shot, and the ability to get out a lot of CC and stall fights for Kalista and the tanks is actually really good. Keep in mind, Annie Kalista used to be a lane way back in League of Legends. If you go back to, season when Kalista came out. Anyone's a real League historian. A lot of it was because you can pressure with range, but also I think Annie brings some nice value for stalling. The ways for me that TL could win this would be kind of shotgunning their comp early and really getting a big Varus and the ability to protect the Varus. And I will give FlyQuest a lot of credit. I think they played around Varus very, very well in this game. Even the one fight that Inspired looked like he griefed with a kick, Blippo and the team were able to pick it up. And FlyQuest were almost down 0-2 and really brought it back in this game. So I'm kind of curious to take another look at how that happened. Also, TL banning 3 mids to know they're going to first pick Kalista for me was kind of crazy. And I would have not taken away Viego. I would have taken away Lee, but they were going to pick Sedge, so I can understand that. But I do think that if this was the comp and the core that TL was going to take, it would have been kind of hard to get resets. And I really like how Annie Lee is able to play early. What's the Monkahum for? Sorry, Emily. We're going through the tape. Those were cool drawings. How pog is it that Spawn is third in NACL and coaching the winning LCS team? I don't know how the man does it. The banning to get the Kalista, I think they assumed that they were going to go Kalista, and they banned out 3 of the better matchups against Taliyah. Like, they really wanted Taliyah. That is my logic. Good trade from TL. They protect the ward going down in that brush. That's really nice. It does put this lane in the back half. Varus Tom can win early. Or should win early, I should say. Oop. I called this. I said it was going to be level 3 mid, and it was disaster. So my solution for this, I think Inspired needs to flash auto APA and then follow the Q. He flashes late after the stun. If Inspired is able to flash over the rocks and auto, it's a kill. Inspired, for me, miscalculated this, and this was on him. And it's a disaster. He needed the auto for the damage, though. So you flash over the rocks. So that's just a miscalculation. And then Core splits Bucio's recall. So he misses out on the timer completely to affect the map. Really well done. Nice answer from Umti. I mean, Umti knows that it's going to be a level 3 play. Yeah, look at these guys. Like, holy shit, we won the Lee, like the Lee Annie level 3, right? This shit's so OP. TT doesn't go over the rocks. He also needed the damage. If you flashed over the side, yeah, onto, yeah, we're on the same page. And then Blippo gets solo killed. I don't exactly know how this happened. It was an early TP back from Impact. So he has full health bar and double cloth armor, and he just all-ins. Damn. I didn't get full context of that. I don't know where Renekton was in that situation. Okay, Eid later. Hey, and Hotline League too. Shout out to the last episode. By the way, guys, Hotline League is going to be on Tuesday this week because I have challengers tomorrow. So tune in the challengers still. I like this look from Busio. The core flash is pretty nasty. Yawn dies if it's not for the core flash. He still dies, but it was nasty. Masu flash was good as well. I thought Masu played a little bit cautious in this series, but didn't play bad. Like, I actually thought the Senna game, he was fine. And this game, I thought he was quite good. Jesus Christ, Marikuv. Masu does have the... Okay, hold on. We missed this. This game was a little bit action-packed. So while this kill went on bot, there was a roam mid from Bwipo, and I legitimately think this saved the game. So Bwipo TP's back to this Thane because he has to. This Thane was pushing out from him, which is, I mean, props to Impact, right? That's a great solo kill. This is the one timer that he has to impact the map. APA has to respect this, so this was an oopsie. He's down flash. He has to respect this. And it's a really, really good play from Jensen and Bwipo. Yeah. APA's got to respect this. Really good timer from Bwipo. And what I love... Alright, so we have the DMAT into the kill. Really well done from Busio. Busio didn't have his best series. This was a good game from Busio. What I love about that play, too, from Bwipo is that Jensen's going to pay it back. So now bot pro, they're actually able to push up in river. They nuke the wave mid after the grubs. And Inspired gets really far ahead in this map. I didn't exactly see how that happened. Yes. This is part of how it happens. So Inspired is going to do wraps and then pick up mid. And Jensen just walks up here and they kill Impact. Really good CC chain. Oh, yeah, they don't. Never mind. Still a really good pressure. So they get a good reset. And also Inspired got a mid wave. And he gets bot crab. I do want to kind of pay attention to Inspired in this, because I know Inspired ends up having a big game. A lot more of his camps are up. Good flash from APA. This is a really good force from Inspired. Like that, I think, again, this was a pretty big mistake from APA, because now he's down flash, and you are a target if you're going up against Annie Lee. You have to be very careful about this. Really nice from Inspired to pull this off. I think APA, it's a second chance to go international, and I hope APA continues to learn and grow. I think individually he's got to step up if they go international. Yeah. Yeah. Fly's smart. I do think Fly's really smart. Yeah. Now Jensen does this on ward, and Impact just doesn't think that Bwipo stuck around because he chunked him. Yeah, Bwipo kind of faked his recall here. So he's thinking that they're just going to swap to make sure that Bwipo's able to get mid-wave. But I ended up thinking this was really smart from FlyQuest because it's armor on the Cassante, but they put Annie into Cassante quite a bit, and I think this is really, really good from Fly. So Inspired gets grubs off this, and Inspired's like super fed at this point. He's going to have the thickest base of all time.
Very thick.
Boppo's eating shit bot lane. How was food?
It was good.
Nice.
This was also pretty well played from Busio and Masu.
Yeah, this is a good game for them.
Yeah.
Wonder what the solution is here for TL. Oh, wow, I get the head rubs. Oh my goodness. Yeah, again, like APA died. He lost, like losing that flash for APA ended up being really expensive. You got some folks saying hey.
Hi, Sean. Hello, Nick. What are Rafa's thoughts on Fly being more suited for?
Kind of.
Thoughts on Fly being more suited for LPL than LCS? Like, does Mira like better?
It's probably a meme, but you know.
Oh, I mean,
this was nasty from Whippo.
The version of FlyQuest that came out today against Team Liquid got bodied by, you know.
That might be why they're more fitted for LPL, you know. This was really good from Whippo. Dude, Whippo is like so starved in this game and he still makes such a big impact.
I mean, I know the LPL regular season they just fight a lot, but I don't know when it comes to playoffs. So I'm not sure if that means like FlyQuest would grow more in LPL versus LCS. I will say we only had 14 regular season games, and they were all best of ones. If we had more games so that players could get more reps in on stage,
That'd be great.
it would be great. Mark C, please add more games or go to best of threes. Either one, I beg. Yeah,
I just wanted to rib on the coach. Oh no.
Tell them to come watch NAC.
Oh, don't worry. I've been talking about NACL a lot. We do.
Oh, I see Rafa's engaging with the question.
I don't think your mic can.
Cubby works for Travis now, so he has to say no to best of threes. True.
Don't worry, chat. I will shill for best of threes randomly on Hotline League.
Come watch NACL finals. Tomorrow at 4 p.m.
I mean,
PST.
all right, but Cubby's chat will know.
Okay,
Cubby's...
true.
Yeah, we try to show.
All right, bye, Cubby.
Bye. We are a best of two stand. Okay, let me. I totally lost this game state. I'm sorry, guys. I'm gonna go back through some tape a little bit. That would have been Kai Sean. He's staying with us as he's observing for NACL. Alright, so TL got Drake off bot prio. And then APA died, that's right. APA's flash being down was really bad. FlyQuest tried to push. Jensen didn't have Tibbers, so he didn't want to go for the flash play. And also there's Devour up on Core, so I feel like that's the right play to drop. Again, I really like this from Core. Just like fucking around with Whippo's base, it's really good. Like TL will not let you base for free. I love that. Just good league. Impact shifted down for that play. It's a TP from Blippo to get back up. APA is on the catch and APA is behind, and he gets like all of his shit forced here. Really nice from Blippo. Really nice from Blippo. Blippo Croc does hit a little bit different. Alright, the Tibbers was used to get something positive on Cassante, so that's fine. Yeah. No. I took care of that, so I'm done after this. I have to do some prep though. Why, what's going on? Okay, sounds good. Yeah. I think you should drop Tibbers a lot. The drop to trade, I am a fan of personally. That said, Jensen is going to be very heavily pressured, and the 3-man comes. So well done, TL. That's a good trade. They are losing Herald. I think that this got a little bit funky, though, because Whippo was able to push too much. So, like, what happened here? Because Whippo got a shit ton for this. Because he ends up getting... There's a top inner trade, I think, around the Dragon Timer. Yeah, it is. It's good. Oh, that's right. Yeah, this deal was huge. This deal was really big. So Impact gets chunked, and the team kind of abandons Impact, and no one marks Inspired, and Inspired is up a level. And just gets the full execute off as the Wii. And MT has no shot there, really. And FlyQuest just back off. Whippo, while this is all going on, gets tier 2, and then FlyQuest, like the way they shift their power here is really good. Yeah, you just drop Tibbers, then you force mid out, and you just take objectives. Really nice stretch on there by Busio. It gets him out. Everything misses from TL. This is so sick from Inspired and Whippo. This was so sick from Fly. This sequence is really good from FlyQuest. Yeah. Really, really good stuff. Masu dies trying to link, which is an oopsie. I didn't exactly see how that happens, so Masu dying here was a little bit rand. And the team kind of abandons him, which is a bummer. But overall, because the Herald's down, it's still a massive play for FlyQuest. There was a Scorch Blitzcrank last night, and I wanted to die. By the way, that team ended up winning the next 3 games. I heard that series was terrible. Yes, the Blippo 1v4. I don't think that was super worth, but they did get all the, like, red buff at least. So, it'd be what it do. Masu drop cleanse for that. Jensen again taking away impact health. Impact's up a lot of levels here. How'd that happen? I know that Blippo's like died a couple times and been forced off, but he's up 2 levels on the game. But Jensen gets chased, and this is the Baron tug. I key if Jensen dodged out on that W, he actually wins that. I really like how Blippo held the choke in this. Oh wait, no. This was bad. This was bad. Yeah, Busio I think needs to play this a little bit slower. I don't know about this one. I think Blippo holding the line here is fine. This hook on the Yawn's really good. Yawn kind of used it to bait the dredge line standing there, which is also kind of pog. Yeah, now nothing is left for Yawn, and we have a 4v4. And now it's a flip. And Inspired was CC during this, so he couldn't smite, or if he missed smite. What was... Oh, both smites came in really, like, one after the other. Wow. Wow, really good ult by Impact, too. Because, like, Inspired's, like, if he gets a kick here, it's actually pretty big and they could get out, but the ult from Impact gets him out. Holy shit. Damn. So that was a disaster. Oh, it doesn't? Okay. Well, they just came in back-to-back, and Oomsy was a little bit later. I am noob. Fucking report me, man. I don't play the game enough anymore. Sometimes we mental boom. Is Ido actually gaslighting? I mean, it's a knockup. I think he can still smite. Wink? Silent suppression. Probably losing Rattlefly. I mean, having a different building and different stage, yeah, it's... I mean, it's not... No one's going to say that's an advantage. We'll put it that way. Jensen could have stalled more, but it was still... I think Busio did ult too early. It should have been a more cohesive turn if there was a turn at all. And I think... I think it was... like Masu didn't turn, right? So if anything, they need to get Masu on the other side of the pit and like actually have him threaten. But bless up. Don't worry, Mariku's... Okay. This was the fight where I'm like... Everyone's like, wow, Inspired's inting. APA's on top wave. And I honestly think that's just what made them pull the trigger. And it actually wasn't an int at all. Because Bwipo just goes sicko mode here. The flash is really good. I mean, looking back, if Yon was able to react flash this, it would be doable. But Yon's eat is down. He doesn't react flash this, and he gets tapped. Bwipo cleans up, and Masu has a great fight because Bwipo just made all the space in the world for him. It was pretty big. Oh, the new take is that APA won because he wasn't in the big stage. No, it's because Azir was gone. I cannot wait for people to use that as the asterisk, dude. APA winning without Azir is going to be COVID's the Braun finals, for real. Mickey Mouse bubble ring. Yeah, his window's closing too. Because he's fucking old and his hands are too slow now, you know? That's the only reason. This kick from Inspired felt a little bit personal. Oh, Masu cleansed just a hair early. I thought Masu, that like this flash was very good. The jump was really good. I thought Masu played out the sequence really nicely with Jensen. And this was TL's big mistake. I think after this, the game is really, really fucked. Nice save from APA, but they gave too much gold over on these two fights. And like, yeah. But I thought Masu Jensen played that out in the back half really nicely. Like, this is really good for Masu. Really nice for Masu Jensen. Yes. Honestly, if the Braun play with Wemby, that'd be pretty cool. And then Baby Braun. We hook the tank. Guys, we're hitting the Renekton with Styrax. It's fine. Who also has TP coming up to reset. I think I really like how Bwipo eats space from Renekton. I know he's down Styrax now and down ult, but he just gets the TP back and this drag is uncontestable. So I think that's really good. They didn't get any significant cooldowns out besides Impact Ghost, so it'd be what it do there, but Yeah, Blippo is setting up the angle here. I mean, it's a really good save onto Core, but once Yon's taken out of the fight, he is the main damage. And Busio finds a really nice hook on the APA. Busio plays this fight crazy good because he gets yoinked in here to Yon, and Yon flashes it, and he at least hits the dredge line so I can finish him off. It's really nice. And then Sundered Sky's OP for Inspired. Yeah, Core coming back was a Y for sure. But that was really, really well done by Busio. Last game. Nice angle from FlyQuest. Yeah, they get back. And next game. Any other questions? It was a misban, yeah. My favorite color is blue. All right, here we go. So something I really liked in this draft later on, Jax is one of the answers in the TF. So I think taking the Jax and the TF together is actually really, really nice. And it's just top pressure to support this. And for me, the big mistake here is honestly Annie on 2. I don't understand why they didn't just take Nautilus. I think Senna Nautilus is defining. Like, honestly, meta defining. I wonder if they're, like, scared of the Braum or just the continuation of the Tom coming out from Core. Like, they just don't want to deal with it. But I think Annie on 2 is what makes this really hard. You do have an answer for the Naught, but that's still where your Devourer is going. And Tom Kench is, like, really shit into this. And picking Annie on 2 enables you to pick this. So I think Asol into this Core is really sick. We take away the Lee Sin. We take away the Olaf. And it's Viego and GP. So ultimately, like, GP has some value in the sense that you can bang these guys. But you can contest every barrel with TF. And I do really like how Whippo called Inspire to his lane. I'll explain in the game. I thought that it was actually pretty clever. But Whippo's GP wasn't exactly at this game. Not all the barrels connected. And I personally don't love Annie Viego. I think it's weaker pre-6, and Annie Lee is a lot easier to threaten with this, so I really like how TL, I think they have a good understanding how to play Asol, the fact they banned Lee and not the Viego. Yeah, this comp is very vulnerable to Asol. And I don't think anything really threatens Asol. Yeah, so I thought this draft from Fly was poor. The changes I would have made, I would have taken Nautilus here. If you want to hide shit, you take Nautilus here. If not, then you can just take Senna Lee if you just, like, hit the fuck it button and we ball, you know? But even then, I don't think it's good. Yeah. I think you just take the Naut. I really like Senna Nautilus. You can play hard for topside, and you get counterpick on 5 on red, so... Like, there's an entire LCK meta around denying Senna Naut for a reason. And we're still on that patch. Level 1 wards. Okay. So Busio gets chonked and Masa was zoned off of CS. So Busio already has to burn TP, which is pretty bad. And it's kind of a awkward clear here from Inspired. Because he skips over the red because he feels like he has to help support bot lane. And I think this is really weird. I don't know why Inspired went for this timer. Because then he sacks his Gromp still. And if you have red, you can at least kind of contest. So this clear ends up being really inefficient for Viego, who you want to be farm hungry on. Now, Umti's behind because he like goes to take away the Gromp and he supports bot lane here, but this was kind of weird. They thought about the dive. There's no dive. I think TL made the right call in not diving. Gensh is just a bitch and have to dive. Hey, what's up, Quana? Congrats on winning that Winthrop like coding competition too. What I do like from Inspired is I think this timer was really good because the way that you want to play GP is you get to Sheen first. And you want to base on Sheen and get back to lane with Sheen on that spike. I think that bridges GP into the later stages of the game. And I know this gank doesn't look like much, but it does get Blippo this Sheen spike. So I did really like that gank from Inspired. It ended up panning out really well for this lane. Because now Blippo gets a slow stack. And he's just kind of chilling. Jensen's hovering like the one like wave 2 that could really fuck with Blippo, and so they spot empty. Inspired hadn't base yet, so he has to base. And again, that was kind of an awkward first clear from Inspired. Like, I don't know why he did that. I think that he just skipped over red because his bot lane was like, oh, we're fucked. So again, like FlyQuest, they weren't able to get out of the first few levels, and Inspired sacked. I mean, he was able to AoE camp clear first, so I guess his bounce back isn't that bad. But the red buff being so late to me again was just kind of weird. Like, again, I'm used to seeing Viego just go for the most efficient path possible. So yeah, Blippo TP'd back with Sheen, and then TF's forced to walk. Now, on the flip side, Umti did get the first 3 grubs and Dragon, so they're trading that for what's going on top lane here. So they did let GP get into this game. 100%. Meanwhile, Busio didn't realize that he was on a ward. I'm just going to go with that. So Busio goes for the port in. They see it. They're able to react to it really easily. They split, and Busio just dies. I think Thick Skin was a hair early, but he also could have been CC chained and goes like could have went down. So, but regardless, it's a pretty rough start. Now, the one thing I will say is that Busio ultimately dies to delay this timer for the dragon, and I thought the FlyQuest like could have bounced back and taken it. So I'm kind of interested to see if they're able to do it here as we go over the tape. We have all for all trade mid. But the chunk was enough to actually get Inspired off the dragon. So that was their timer. I think Inspired probably should have stuck it. Either that or... Oh, it's all on a ward. Oh, man. Inspired didn't check that. I think he's got to clear that ward. Like, Inspired took the blast cone over. I think that's slightly lazy pathing. They're not walk through that brush. They don't check for the control ward. TL had control of that around their dragon setup prior. And there's no sweep yet on Viego. The sweep's on Masu, so it gets really awkward. Because Inspired pulls the Drake, and then he steps out, he clears the ward late, and he returns to his camp, so... Like, again, the timer's kind of weird. And APA gets a free base. And there's no pressure from the Viego Annie from that. Something that's, like, really needed. Then we have GP alt being called bot. I do think like the way that FlyQuest wins this comp is they have to play with the anti-GP barrels and send us those, so they have to just play slow. Like you absorb the Jax Nautilus and then you go from there. Your front line's going to be bigger and better. Inspired didn't try to contest mid here. He would lose if he walks in the Jax. So again, this is really good from Umti. Umti showing here, it gets APA first base, and that's what opens up this Dragon Timer in the back half. So really nice from Umti. Masu's running up towards Grubs, and they're going to sack this. I really like this from APA too. It's small, but it's good. And Busio Popstick skin there. Damn. That's huge. Yon's getting very fed. And they shove Impact off, but they trade a kill. So APA's here. So APA got this timer. Oh, he's still getting mid-prio. That's the counter. APA is already in really good shape this game. Even CS is Acel. Yon's getting so many plates. It's a kind of a problem. Reaver, though, for GP is nice. Like, this top lane matchup's doable now. TF can contest barrels, but the GP is ahead, so he gets to walk up. It makes it a little bit harder for TF to actually get the barrels. And then this play was split. So I agree with the play to go on the Impact. They did bleed out both of his combat sums the next time they came up here. For me, it's just... I think that it had to have been a full commit. I know that Jensen probably would have went down, but it was split commit from Inspired Jensen once they spotted Umti. This is a snap minute. It's a split-second decision. It's tough. Like, when Jensen sends it, I think Inspired has to go, and like this is a little bit unfortunate. It's very split-second, but that wasn't communicated, and that really cost them. Because it's a 1-for-2. And all of a sudden, you're up against a very fed Jax. And Jax scales like a mother. And then Blippo got killed scream watching, you know? And that's pretty terrible. So now gold lead's like just evaporated. It's now 1k in TL's favor. And then Busio dies when we get back from replay. That's really bad too. I don't know exactly how that happened out of replay. They didn't show it. Yeah, I mean, that's something. What the fuck? And then we get out on another replay, and Annie dies. I really wish I could see the setup for some of these. I have no idea what's going on right now. I did see before replay, Whippo's walking bot and Annie's catching top. And so I think that, like, FlyQuest are behind. They have their bot lane resetting. They're going to be a little bit later on the map than TL, so TL does have a play. I'm just going to... Yeah. Impact didn't even port for this. I think he just waited in the brush and they killed him. Because it was flashless Annie. God damn. It's like, this game's fucked. And again, you're going up against Acel, so you have the scaling threat. Yes, it was NPC. For sure. I actually thought Masu put out the skirmish really nicely. I really like Masu kiting back to Blippo. And I thought he was pumping out as much damage as he could here. I know it's small. Either way, Inspire was chunked, and so you have to return to your camps to heal. He will still try and force the dragon down, as APA doesn't have TP. I assume FlyQuest are tracking that, and they are going to give... And they give bot as well. They're at least ahead on the turret trade. They're going to deploy on the map after FlyQuest plays over, so TL now have a turn. They're going to use their turn to play away from the Annie, so they're going to give top outer to try and pressure bot. So they get blue buff. And they drop Herald. So FlyQuest are trading down. Really nice. Really nice. This is really good macro from TL. They're losing a little bit bot. At least in, like, they got it in, so that FlyQuest loses a little bit bot. TL picks something up top. This is a big grief from TL. Really nice. This play is just not there for me. And this is some of the power GP. Good setup from Blippo. Good chunk. That's a big shutdown that went over to the Senna. But TL or FlyQuest didn't have any forward wards to like really try to punish. Jensen already TP'd for this. If they have a better ward, they could have sent Busio behind, you know? But because like TL's been keeping up, it's nothing. So it's only that. It could have been a really like backbreaking play, and I've seen TL overextend a little bit on sides for that, get kind of crushed. That's happened before, you know. But good job on them to make sure that there were no wards behind them. There were TPs up, especially for Busio. That could have been doable. Nice juke from Inspired. They're just going to drop bot wave. And the thing is that I think Blippo, if he bases and walks bot, or like if he TPs bot, he wouldn't be able to match TF afterwards, which is I think why he's TPing mid. But you also drop your side lane setup now. That's a really nice chunk from Umti. Really like how Umti uses Fog on Jack's jungle. Jensen's Blast Cone was a little bit... Put him in a tough spot. And the Verisalt was huge. So this fight's over. Like, this is well managed from FlyQuest in the back half, but they just never have a chance to win the fight because of the start of it. So really well done from TL. This is really good. And they just get the Drake for free. That's really, 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 really good. And it really is just this Blast Cone from Jensen that makes things so hard. And a great chain CC coming out. Really great. I don't know why Busio stayed here. Yes, he gets out, but it's a little... Also, the heart steal was talked about a lot on Twitter, and yes, it was not that good. Frozen Heart could have been effective on 3, so I would have been biased towards that. I know it's tough for Azul, but we're also max health stacking against on-hit Varus and Leandri's Azul. This response to TL for me was kind of cool because it really shows like how in sync as a team they are. I don't think Yon should be on this wave. I think that the role should be switched here. APA should be on this wave and not Yon. If they want to hit the Baron, Yon, it should have been APA catching it this high, and then Yon should have been walking the Baron with the team. APA can rotate faster, so I think TL messed up the roles here, and that's why they ended up getting picked a little bit, but it's a really cool response to like how in sync they are. Like, that was fucking instant, man. That's a sign like you're actually locked in, you know? This pick on the core was really nice. I think that the turn on the Jensen is good. Honestly, like, this is tough to catch, right? It would have been dumping double CC into the Annie. I think this is actually doable. It's just that the root doesn't hit the Annie. Even if it does, Busio is able to save, so maybe I just don't agree with this as a whole. Inspired did only get one reset here. Good flash from Yon. Where did the Inspired's flash go? Like, where is the shit? Oh, he hooked the wall. Oh, man. Oh, I actually think Inspired kind of choked this fight. I think the play for Inspired is you flash auto Yon. I think you flash auto Yon here. Fully Anti does no damage later. I know that you're getting collapsed upon, but if you are able to turn the fight, you kind of abandon Masu. But you would also remove the one damage dealer. I mean, one of the damage dealers. I think that Yon's a little bit more free. If you flash auto him, then you hit the dredge line for free and he dies, you get another reset. That would force APA and UMT for me to retreat. So I actually think Inspired kind of griefed this fight a little bit. Because he flashes and hooks the wall. And then he tries to ult Yon, who flashes out. I think if you flash auto Yon, it ends up being better. Whippo whiffs a triple barrel. Hate to see it. I think you need to play Annie with damage jungler. Okay. Yeah, that fight was a little bit weird to me. And then, man, TL are just... Like, Whippo's... Oh, he doesn't spot it. Is this spotted at all? It's not. Wow. Nice call. This gets him the dragon. This is fucking ruthless. And it gets APA shut down. I mean, that's really, really big. Yeah, now they get to play on their terms, right? And they have to... Yeah, they end up giving this. That's right. Yeah, that was really big. I love that from TL, man. That's how you use the TF. That's ruthless. That's good shit. I don't mind FlyQuest looking to hold the line here. I really like how TL played the wave. And they're just going to say, fuck that drag. We're going to commit to actually like playing the waves. I think FlyQuest trying to lay a trap. They are behind in this game. I'm fine with that. That's good. And TL ends up, I mean, kind of falling for it. But ASOL was here, so at least appeal comes in. And it's not a ton. Like, they didn't get Yon. Yon is flashless in this. It's kind of unfortunate they didn't get Yon. I think that Jensen, if he's able to, like, that quick that he, like, sidestepped or went back a little bit, I think if it's more committed to being forward, they maybe get Yawn with this. Yawn ended up getting out of this each. That was really significant. Because if they kill Yawn here, it's a shutdown. And you take the, Varus with Baron off the Rift. You might be able to push for more. Damn. This game actually, reviewing it, looked a wee bit... I think TL, still has control. I mean, it's really tough for FlyQuest to actually find angles on the map. TF, just, you can find turns in so many ways. But there are a couple plays that I think FlyQuest could have had that would have made this game a little bit closer. If Inspired plays the last fight better and they find Varus there, I think it actually, things go a lot better for him. All right, these ASOL queues actually, that frustrated me a little bit, and not in a good way, That was maybe the most sussy comment I made. That was pretty out of pocket. Yeah, I think the full commit onto the TF. TF has QSS, and I don't know if FlyQuest knew that for this fight. Because Masu, yeah, this fight just got collapsed. They go for the target QSS. I mean, Core's dead on my fucking screen. You get reset number 1 here. Instead, they don't realize that Impact has QSS. They literally just didn't hit tab. Holy shit. Holy shit, man. That's a tilter. Masubusi or a split and kind of left to the wolves from that, and that's just how this game ends. They just didn't realize he had QSS. Holy shit. Holy shit. Alright. Last game. I will probably not stream that much longer because I need to prep with my co-casters who are waiting for me. So this is going to be the last game. And I will kill stream. I will not preview NACL on here. I gotta go prep with them. But thanks for tuning in. It's been fun doing LCS VoD reviews. Last game of the split. I've done every single game, so if you're here, thank you. Let's tune in. We are inspired by Barrel and Life, and unfortunately our performance is a little bit closer to Barrel. So, Kalista first pick. Liani, this draft looks a little bit familiar. We have Nautilus, as Renata was banned early by TL. Curious. No ASOL this time. No volley. Not Talia. See, Annie and Talia for me is more so fine. I think the switch up that TL made this time around was not making sure that they are denying the Knot from the Kalista Knot and forcing Busio to play something else. So Busio ends up dropping. Severus, I really like the Gragas ban, and they first 3 banned Renekton, so they know that this is an option for Blippo here, so they have to take the Annie early. Nice. Good adjustments. That said, this is a draft where, for me, Olaf goes really turbo, no matter what. And I will be a bit lame and say that I think Kalista Braum would have been really good this game. I know that we busted out the Rumble, but isn't Braum just super winning with an Olaf and all this? You just catch the Nautilus and you throw Qs. I don't think Braum is like hella value or anything, but like this for me was a really potentially winning game because I think Varus went on like poke as well. And it would have forced the Varus to go on hit, where I think it's really hard to play on hit Varus into Braum, Annie, Olaf. I mean, I know we're busting out our Rumble, but you are able to get ahead in lane and play off that, but it would have had Annie be main engaged, but you can throw Braum into the team. I don't know. I really like this early invade. Unironically, actually got 2 of these, which was, I think, pretty significant. Because it means that Inspired got a delay level 3. Blippo ghosts to get back up here, which is good. I'm fine with this. I mean, it's not great, but it's fine. Busio's poking. Goes to look. Inspired showed on the cross. Now, Inspired, because of like our clear that we have so far, we did miss 2 of them. So we aren't level 3 yet. And there is a smite, so does win it. But now we've got a 2v2 against Lee Annie very early in the game. Unfortunately, Jensen eat himself and not the Lee, and that hurt a little bit. Yeah, that hurt just a wee bit. If that E comes in, Lee Sin survives, and that would have been kind of nice. Because I think Lee would have been able to do Wolves from there and stay on map. That said, still a huge win. I don't know why Blippo threw this Q. All he needs to do is step back and throw a Q and kill those 2 creeps. Instead, he actually loses his flash from this, and that's very significant. Oh, he doesn't lose flash, but it's a really nice reaction flash. But he's fucked. He's calling for help. And that's really bad when you're wave state. Like Olaf, when you're going double combat sums, which I think you should always do on Olaf. I think this is how you play Olaf. Impact was able to pull the wave, and that was honestly, that really hurt. That really hurt. It really hurt. Because Impact got, like, his wave state is so good here, and I think that my solution, I know Inspired's looking. I do think that Inspired has to go up and, like, get that top wave in. No, he doesn't have time. Never mind. I take it back. Take it back. He doesn't have time. He doesn't have time. Was there a world where he has time? There is a world where he has time. I think he has to go get that top one in. Fuck the crab. I think he's got to save his Olaf. Because, like, Olaf does go turbo this game. It's poke Varus. Nothing can kill Olaf in a team fight. Also, APA was massive this game. Just gonna throw that one out there. This is really good for Inspired. This is really good from APA. This is pretty troll. This is a great hover from Umti. Jensen's no flash. He doesn't sidestep it. Yeah. Kind of hard. No flash Inspired, so he can't finish it off. And now he's dead. APA fucking turns this game around. Unreal. That, oh, man. Now, that said, they do kill Yawn. And Busio just gives himself up for that. I think it is worth it. I mean, I know it is worth it. But this does give a little bit of gold over to the Varus. They do get extra creep win. That's really nice. Yeah, look at Blippo, though. He's kind of starved. This is not how the matchup should go. And a lot of that's just because he ate the tower shot. APA did have a good weekend. He stepped the fuck up. I pinged him earlier. He said his DMs are full. So, good for him. And Inspired wins the flip. This was a bull one for me from TL. I think their bot conditions aren't that good. So they really are forcing this. And Jensen 6. Jensen 6 matters a lot. So Umti just kind of gives himself up, which was correct. Also, how can you not be an Umti fan after this interview, by the way? How awesome was that interview from Umti? What's up, J-Dads? Hey, TL win. Pretty big. I can understand Blippo trying to go for this. Huge, you might say, Pog. But he didn't get the R off fast enough. Because if he doesn't get pushed, then Umti would go through him, no? And then he would have gotten them all. And he could have actually walked out. Yeah, it's really hard not to root for him after this. This was very well played by FlyQuest. The fact they had Busio take that bonus that bonus tower shot was a little bit ballsy, but it paid off pretty big. So, nice job by FlyQuest to always trade out. They needed to be very far up. J-Dads, I hugged Hatham afterwards too today. That was pretty fun. Guys, Malink, JL, or my good friend J-Dads, we used to all coach Miami together, so... With Hatham, the GOAT. Yeah, man. He'd appreciate that for sure. A nice flash here from Blippo. They showed it later on broadcast, but yeah. Again, like, he's still... You want to play towards Olaf, in my opinion. I think that, like, making sure that Olaf has really good conditions, make sure that he gets to the later stages of the game where this is a really good draft for Olaf. And, yeah. A couple things happened in the early game that just kind of threw the Olaf lane a little bit off. Yeah, it is. No, I remember that. This ended up being pretty big. I don't know how FlyQuest got these lane assignments. Like, why? I can understand wanting Malignant Sandy into Cassante. Because it's Cloth Armor and Sheen. But I think you have to play for this lane. And the way the map was set up, that TP from Jensen just completely fucks Masu. Like, Masu has zero chance to play the game right now. And this is like where the Renekton is so big for Blippo. Because you can put Renekton bot in this scenario, and Renekton has a chance to potentially live. I say this, it's against Poppy, Varus, not. Probably not. I don't think anything. You might have a better chance to live as Olaf, but still. Like, Olaf walking down here and not having the TP, again, like, we don't play for the Olaf conditions. We get some weird resets. Olaf's behind, and this is where the game kind of gets funky on the map. Regardless, we are able to play for the grubs. And then FlyQuest fall for the ultimate bait. So it's only... I think that they should have baited a little bit more here. Because it's 4 bot. We are losing grubs. There's going to be a top play that comes out. Impact's living, though. He's doing his damnedest. And then Busio just... Core blows flash for this, but it's still so bad. Drags delayed. Masu again is forced off. Honestly, does manage this decently well. This was really nice from Inspired. Good flash from Yawn. I really like this pick. Like, this is just take what's given, you know? I think it's really, really well played. Inspired burns nothing for that. It's really good. And they're just going to sack the dragon and go play towards topside. What was this kick? Ah, this was a weird one. Like, they're just... FlyQuest isn't on map. Inspired should just play for camp. Maybe he's scared he gets booted up there and then can't get out later. But he has flash. Flash is obviously valuable, but it was kind of weird. Yep. They get chance and flash. That's really big. This is so big from Impact. Like, oh my god. I mean, Impact's such a beast for pulling this off. Really, really well played by Impact. That's a huge trade. Taking away anti-flash like that's a huge trade. And they blow Olaf ult, so then he can't approach the wave anymore. This is really, really good gameplay by TL. I think TL played out that sequence really nicely. It is a rift drop for Fly. It's the only reason it's like slightly better for them. But even where they, like how they're defending everything, again, it's just starving Olaf a little bit. Really good. Really good defense here by APA too. I mean, Inspired plays this like actually freakishly well. It just doesn't matter. Oh my god, Umti plays this so well too. This was really big from Umti. The flash E here was just massive, and this ended up being a really big point in the game. And keep in mind, Jensen just blew flash, so... Oh, we just can't defend this. Like, we don't have Olaf on map. No one's showing for TL. This is really good. Really good from TL. I just think it's very greedy from Inspired. I mean, he reacts as good as you can. It just doesn't matter. Midway was in. TL's here first. No one's on sides for Fly. It's kind of a tempo disaster. Really big play by TL. It's really, really, really good. Really good. It's actually really good gameplay. Same as Impact. I mean, yeah, he's playing support Rumble versus top Rumble. Let's be real. I mean, his ult, you can't have a better ult there. Like, I don't know what else he can do. This is why I liked Olaf in this draft. You can just kind of auto. Whippo is able to get out, but it still is kind of hard. Like, they just dropped the dragon off this. Again, this dragon's pretty tough for them. I think Whippo's doing okay here. Look at the control the TL has over this side of the map. Because we just had a hard topside Rift Herald, right? And TL just, none of the control wards have been cleared out. None of the control wards are cleared out. They just have to sack. Whippo has no TP. It's really good. Take the chunk, take the dragon. Really well played. It's just TL playing better on map. Really is. I'd hope not. If support Rumble did as much damage as top lane Rumble, we'd have a fucking problem. Alright, good pick on the UMT. This was good. Good job, FlyQuest. I also like this. This is good. This is all fine and dandy from FlyQuest. Until we drop the game. For the record, I'm totally fine with the FlyQuest decision to do this. I think this is the part of the game where I think Blippo, the first mistake here is that Blippo ults. I don't think Blippo can ult this. I think Blippo has to hold on to this ult. And the second one is that Yawn, I love what Yawn does here. And, like, he's spotted. This is great. Like, he gets just the freest chunk off the Chain of Corruptions. And they're just fully committing the burning. Busio walks up and is not in R range for Kalista. And Kalista can't walk up because Kalista's rooted. So it's just kind of like a fucking disaster across the board for FlyQuest. And now Blippo can't join because he's been starved of his sums and everything. And TL just ends up winning. Masu doesn't flash the combo, and it's... the game just fucking ends from that. I mean, FlyQuest really went out with a whimper. Like, that was just disaster. It was super troll. There was no execution. They just kind of let TL walk over him. I think looking back, how this had to be played out is I think they see Yawn here. And for me, Inspired probably shouldn't put himself in range. Like, I can understand hitting the Baron. I think FlyQuest kind of feel desperate. I think FlyQuest have like the whole FlyQuest gets outscaled this game. I actually really think is not the case at all. I think FlyQuest outscales TL this game. I so like for me, I don't know why they pushed this hard. I think they could have fixed their wave states. Like if you go have Annie catch the top wave and shove it out and just get a clean reset and trying to play on that, I think it's fine. Like, go have Blippo fucking feast the bot tower. Go fix your waves in the 5v4. Like, pushing for this ended up being a really troll. And obviously, that's a little bit of hindsight 2020, but you're doing a pretty slow Baron in front of a poke Varus. And then Blippo gets ults so early. And it's just a zero value ult. I think the only way they could have turned is, like, if Busio and Inspired sunk up in terms of throwing the Rumble into someone. Chain of Corruption ended up rooting Masu, so you're going to walk forward, and it's just... I mean, Yawn, like, wins the game with RQ. Legitimately. Masu had a nice one on a dive bot. And that was about it. Busio, unfortunately, was a bit far forward there. And APA flicked each most valuable prospect back to the gray screen. And it's like really not much else to say. I think game gets really hard after that. Losing finals to APA. What a fucking baller. No, this series I think was somewhat close, but I think TL was much, much better on map. I very much preferred TL's drafts. I feel like they had similar identities for most of the time. They did flex to the poke Varus here. But Poke Varus does have really good targets later on in this game. And it's bad. Like, Olaf, playing on-hit Varus and Olaf just feels like ass. So I think TL going Poke Varus and trying to win early was actually the right call. Fly did seem today. I will say, I think that looking back, Nautilus deny ended up being pretty big. And again, I would vote for Braum this game. And Busio is trying to get Dragon control, but yeah, this is just... He's got to flash that hook. Masu's not in range, so... Unlucky. Greedy holds. Let's drag. Yeah. think the Busio Nautilus is very good. And the other games did not quite go their way. Yeah, it does. I can't blame him too hard for the Baron. I don't think he should walk up to E APA. I think that's dumb. But he does assume he's going to get caught by Masu, and Masu just didn't position for it. I think Masu, like, not moving at all during that. I know you're trying to maximize your DPS on the Callista, but it did make it pretty easy to line up a Chain of Corruption and a Q. So, again, it's kind of troll. You see how shallow the TP is. Yeah, like, Busio firing out this ultimate, I mean, it is in the choke. It does chunk impact, but he's able to dash out, so I don't agree with that. Again, you're trying to sync things up, but look at all the poke that Inspire's been taking here. Like, APA is, like, absolutely just annihilating these guys on their way to walk in. And I thought this fight actually was off to a good start, because Inspire does bait so much here. And Blippo was actually able to auto. And he ate the Chains of Corruption. But, like, Busio is just useless being thrown in this late. And Jensen wasn't able to get around that. What Jensen flash? I think Jensen should have flashed over the wall here. That's one way it would have been a little bit more optimal, but yeah. Alright. I mean, Blippo did not have a good game. Then we return to the scene of the crime. And it's just perfectly CC'd. I will say that this is a comp where if you're going to run support Rumble, you do have to snowball the game really early. If anyone watched DK versus KT, Barrel played support Rumble. And I think the only reason they won is because they ended up getting Hexel. But that game rubber banded back in the enemy team's favor very hard. I mean, I will say harassing Tibbers are very typical. The Tibbers has some, like, the most amount of damage on it in the game. There's no ability in the game that does more damage than Tibbers. So pressing R on people and getting them out of lane to do objectives is very good. I'm gonna be honest, I think it's not terrible the FlyQuests are in the playing stage of MSI. I actually think, I mean, if we're talking about stage buff, I think that will matter a lot for this group. And I really hope they show up. I get to watch, I mean, honestly, watching this core go international is pretty fun. Busio Masu are some of the most exciting players that we did have, like, come out of tier 2, obviously. And Yawn and APA also very good. Hey, I'm happy for Yawn. I don't think Yawn ever really got credit. And I am a Yawn doubter, as I think that Yawn really needed to up his team fighting, and he did. He played fantastic. God, this R flash from Yawn is so good. It was so good that Core missed his hook. That's so good from Yawn. Holy shit. He's doing this because he knows, like, he could be kick target, right? Like, he's assuming Inspire's going to go kick his ass. So it's, like, a little bit preemptive, but it's still so good. Yeah, they end the game off this push. Damn. Dude, Umti's reaction was, like, everything, man. Holy shit. Good for Umti. Good for Umti. Man, that's so fucking cool. Yeah, no, yeah, that was really clean. Yeah. Yeah, man. That actually is pretty insane. Yeah, I know the reaction is everything.